Okay, I'm going to go over this with y'all. I don't know if you can see it or not. That first one, number one, is I just put read carefully. That's more of a reading type problem. Number one, the cost of Y after the discount. So there's a discount and there's 12 t-shirts each. Let me see, can I make that a little bit bigger? But you see right there on your paper where you see here, there was 12 t-shirts each. Okay, probably didn't roll over it, but anyway, you see the answer is clearly C. I think you probably got that one right. Now here you can do a process of elimination. You know it's not F, it's too big. You know it's not J, it's too large. So when you draw the trend line, what does it fall closest to? And it's closest to 35. I'm doing just a really, really quick thing with y'all. Number three, this you just put in the calculator, Y equals. Once you put it in the calculator, you go to the table. So I think you've already done this before, all right? Now on this one, on page 2, and we're looking at number 4. Number 4, page 2, it says, oh, here we go. The teacher, you can only see that one at the top, will determine the number of books to order for a class using the function Bn equals 4n, where n represents the number of students. What is the independent quantity in this situation? Okay, so the number of students in the class is the independent. Okay, y is the dependent, x is the independent. So we know that n represented the x. So looking at number 5, you can probably see that a lot better. You see the quadratic being graphed, and it just simply asks which two values of x is a zero of G location. That means where does it fall between on the graph for x? And based on the graph, the line falls between 4 and 5. Between which two values of x is a zero product you see through on the graph right here is between 4 and 5. Okay, number 6. We went through this before I left, so I think you all have that. I'm not going to read it. So if you want a tutorial on that, let me know and I'll send it to you. Next page. The graph shows the time it took a worker to pack 16 bottles of shampoo. So you read through and interpret what happens within the graph, and you'll see that the new graph would be steeper than the original. Why? Because it packed twice the number of bottles. Okay, so that's why it's steeper. It's packing more bottles. Number 8, if you see my work here, number 8, you have to set the quadratic equals 0, solve it, and you can just plug in, or you don't even have to do all that. Just plug in the answer choices until you get where you have the answer is equal to 78 for the area. So that's easy. So when you have the test, just find the answers, A, B, C, or F, G, H, J, whatever it is. Plug it in, set it equal to 78, and see if it comes out to be true. Number 9, just take a look at the formula, and you should be able to work backwards and understand it has to be C. Okay, next page. Next page, we know that the mapping below represents the points on the graph of F. What's the domain? Domain is always X, so these are the values of X is in answer F. Number 11, simply put in the calculator. If you have trouble, send me a tutorial and I will request to show you how, and I'll send you a tutorial. Number 12. C is the change, okay? So if you see my notes here, C is the number of passengers in the car. Okay, so gathering from my notes, I'm not going to go through it in detail. I'm making this very short. See if you can see why the answer is J. Okay, the next one is 13. See the table. So you would see here that g of x equals 0. Okay, so what's the other solution? And you see in the table is 3. Number 14, you see I've worked it out step by step, so you see how I've gotten 3. Number 15, you could use the calculator. Oh, we went over this before I left. Use the intercept method. That's what I did here. Use the intercept method and graph the x is greater than -6, or just find x for -6 and y is 4. And I just applied the points, and you know if it's greater than, it's going to be above the line. So that's the reason why it's above the line. Number 6. Okay, so 6, it's saying that which statement about the quadratic parent function is true? And the answer is G, because its graph is symmetrical about the y-axis. So you see that's the y-axis on a parent group is completely symmetrical. That means it's the same size on both sides. Number 17, just look at the graph and interpret what's going on in the graph here. It says the maximum number of presentations the presenter made before running out of cookies. Okay, so you see the cookies are going down, and you see how many presentations are made. Number 18 at the bottom, you see F equals, I have 50, multiply 50 times 36, which means it's 1800 over D. 7 of 8, we're almost there. This is number 19. Which set of ordered pairs represents Y as a function of X? So basically, which one's a function? Which one has a unique X for the Y? So in other words, you see that A is the only one that works out. So you have B, you see -1 is also paired with -8 and 0. So it can't be that one. So you see C, -4 is also as X paired with -2 and 1. So it can't be that one. So you know each X has you have a unique Y for it to be a function. That's the reason why it is A. Number 20, if you look how I've worked it out, I've shown you step by step there. Which statement about the quadratic function below is false? It says the graphs of 2 of these functions have a minimum point. So that's false. I didn't get a chance to write any explanations on that. We can talk about that if you have a question. You can send it. Okay, number 22. Which equation can be represented by the graph shown below? So there again, you can just graph it, change it to y equals, graph it, and see if it matches. Or you can use the x-intercept method if you would like. If you would put the 16 on the other side, that would work. And then you can see what the graph is. So it's several different ways. Preferably, you can just put it in the calculator. And I believe that's it.